Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the bathroom!
Hello. Welcome into the inaugural episode of the Steal Here podcast, where I'm your host alongside my partner in crime, Jersey Jerry. I am Kevin Adams, and our goal is to bring you nothing but the best, all things Pittsburgh Steelers football. What's going on, Jer?
What up, Kev? What's going on, man? Happy to be here. Inaugural episode, first one ever.
It's exciting, baby. It's going to be a good season. A lot of exciting things coming down the pipeline for us. I'm pretty excited to share the space with you.
Yeah, for sure. Happy we got to do this because we talked about it for a little while. And to actually do it is something different. I'm happy about that. We got it done. We're here. We're still here.
We are still here. It just makes sense. I mean, I've not met many people like myself that take the losses a little too deep and the wins a little too high. And so this connection just makes a lot of sense for the both of us, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure it does. You know, two guys who love Steelers football, diehard fans. You know, you live in Pittsburgh. I don't, unfortunately. That's the goal one day, though.
Yes,
But yeah, dude, there's no denying our passion, our love for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And me and you were grateful to get the opportunity this year to go there and witness it up close. You know what I mean? Get to camp, be on the actual field. Great experience. I'm sure we'll do that in the future. I'm sure, you know, this is just something pretty small we're doing, man. I see big things ahead. I'm excited. And yeah, just happy to be here, man.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. What'd you think of the game Saturday night?
Yeah, so I was in Saratoga. I was with Dave and Big Cat and Elio out there, you know, at the racetrack and, you know, betting on the ponies, which was a great day, really great day. So, but unfortunately, I had to watch the game on my phone the whole time. And we were at dinner, nice Italian place, eating dinner, and that's where I watched the game. So I ended up coming home, watching the game back. Listen, not the best start for Trubisky by any means.
No.
Not at all. Showed some regression there. Kenny got what, 7 passes?
Yep.
6 for 7. I mean,
6 out of 7.
Which listen, that's what all we can hope for right now. I know he's not turning the ball over. He's making those quick plays, those quick dump offs, which is good. He had a couple nice passes to Freiermuth, which was great over the middle. That was really nice to see. One thing that wasn't nice to see, I would say, is the offensive line. That was a catastrophe.
Yes.
And I'm sure they got a chewing out from Tomlin for sure. You know, you can just tell the way Kendrick Green answered some questions. I think earlier today or the day before.
Yeah.
They got chewed out, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it was a terrible performance from the line. That's the biggest thing you can see from that game, aside from the fact that Pickett looks good. I would agree with you. I would like to see him throw the ball deeper downfield a little bit. He did throw a lot of underneath stuff. Yeah. Not that it's the end of the world. He's lethally accurate at the underneath stuff, and I think that that's how you can win in the NFL. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You don't have to throw the ball 60 yards downfield like Patrick Mahomes. You can win throwing some other underneath stuff if you don't mess it up. I mean, you can't base an offense on strictly dinking and dunking if you don't have an accurate quarterback. You can't afford to have an incomplete pass where you're looking at 3rd and long. You know, you just can't do it. And Kenny's great at that. And Kenny was great at that at Pitt. He had, because the line was so bad, we got to see what Kenny Pickett could do under pressure. And you saw some incredible things. That pass you described to Freiermuth that's an NFL play. I mean, you're never going to have a clean pocket every time. He was staring down the barrel of a loaded gun, and he connected perfectly. And it's hard to be upset about what we saw from Kenny Pickett. It's nice to see what we saw from Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool went up and got one.
DJ, was it like a back? Claypool had like the back shoulder kind of pass, right?
He did, yeah. Trubisky dumped it up their right sideline, and you know, defender
he's just a mismatch in the slot. He really is.
That's exactly what it is. And he's gonna get one-on-one coverages with oftentimes undersized cornerbacks as the nickel, and that's going to be huge. I mean, the
Yeah.
things that Chase Claypool can do when he doesn't try to do too much is going to be very special for us, and I'm excited for that. Deontay Johnson looked electric, Jer. I mean, he looked
Yeah.
every bit as good as last year. I think finally he's comfortable. He got the deal. There should be nothing holding the guy back.
We seen
I'm
it up close. We seen him up close. I mean, dude, he's crisp, man. He's
insane.
crisp.
Route running for him is insane. I mean, yeah, like you said, we saw it from 10 feet away on the sideline at camp where he absolutely embarrassed the defender.
Yeah.
And I the one thing about DJ that I do like a lot is he does have electric route running, and in the NFL, that's a huge thing because if you have electric route running and you pair that with a guy like Kenny Pickett who is
Yeah.
lethally accurate,
Yeah.
as we've seen, that's a combination that can really light some things up. So I am very high on Deontay Johnson, both from this season standpoint and then from a fantasy football standpoint. I think he's going to get fed, quite a lot of balls, and I'm excited to see what we have on that end of things.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. I think for me, from week one in preseason to the second week, Kenny's the same. Mitch, a little bit. I'm talking from an offensive standpoint.
yep,
Kenny's pretty much the same. Mitch regressed a little bit, and the offensive line regressed a little bit. I
agreed.
don't know if that was because they seen more action with the first team. I don't know, but I will say this. I've always been a loyal fan of the Steelers, big fan, diehard fan. I'm a real fan, though. I
Right.
am at the end of the day. I'm a realistic fan. I'm not one of those fans that think every year is our Super Bowl year.
Right.
We will be in a little bit of trouble if they don't make some adjustments on the offensive line going
Yeah.
forward.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, look at Jesus Christ. Look at last year. Last year that line was terrible. And it was terrible with a and I'm gonna preface this that I love Ben Roethlisberger. I'll never say a negative thing about him, but the guy couldn't move anymore last year. I
Yeah,
mean, he just simply couldn't move. And when you have a line that is piss poor and a quarterback that just is dragging around a lead sled anymore, it was a recipe for disaster. At
yeah,
least with both Kenny and Mitch, they can move. Both of those guys can move. They can get out of the pocket. They can dance a little bit in there. And you saw 2 weeks in a row now where Trubisky is dancing back there
yeah,
more than he should have to. And it's concerning from a quarterback standpoint because you don't want to see a guy get dinged, and that's a recipe for disaster. You can
yeah,
break some tackles, but you might take more than you need. But I agree. Yeah, the line is a huge issue, and it's a huge issue not just because I'm worried about the quarterback play and will they throw Kenny out there soon, simply because it is a worry that if you throw him behind a bad line, it could be a real problem. But
yeah,
it's Najee. You and I have
yeah,
discussed in the past that the key to victory for the Steelers this year is going to be controlling the clock and running the ball.
yeah,
And Jesus Christ, man, it's hard to run the ball when Kendrick Green's a turnstile up there. I mean,
for
I
sure.
don't want to bash the guy because, like you said, he did come out. He owned it. I mean, he owned it yesterday. I
Yeah,
respected the shit out of it. The fact that he said, Tomlin dragged me in front of the team, but it doesn't change the fact that he hasn't been good. And
I
and
think he's
James
very
Daniels.
undersized too.
Oh yeah, exactly. Exactly,
He's
and that
really
was a big thing in
undersized.
college, a big thing coming out of college. He just wasn't a big guy, and short arms. You're going to get bullied. You're going to get bullied, and I think we're seeing that on. He wasn't very good at center. He doesn't look very good at guard.
Yeah,
Um, and again, I've read some things. Some of the guys that I respect on Twitter have said, it could be a new coaching style coming from the new O line coach, and it's hand placement. And if the hand placement is not good, we're going to have some issues with
yeah,
you're going to get buried, you're going to get bull rushed, and some of that kind of stuff. So, look, Jer, the good news is that it's only week 2 of the preseason. We have one more week to clean this up, and then an off
yeah.
week, and then we really get this thing going. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, the concerning part is the line. There's no getting around it. Doesn't matter how many playmakers we have on offense or how good the defense is. If that line sucks, it's going to be a dogfight every week. It's going to be
spot
ugly
on,
wins, ugly wins.
spot on.
I mean, what did you think about some of the defensive performance?
I thought it was pretty good. Our run defense. I know week one was a big problem.
Yep,
It really was. I think they tightened some things up on the run defensive side,
yep,
which was really nice to see. TJ Watt getting that sack, and I just seen the celebration where he went for the kick, what he
Yeah.
always does, and then he just did one of these, which is
Uh-huh.
like, oh no, it ain't the real season yet.
We ain't doing it yet, baby.
Yeah, but I think like TJ's locked in, man. I never got to worry about a guy like that, man.
No.
He's ready to go. He really is. But yeah, dude, I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was as bad as some of these beat writers made it out to be.
Yeah.
Just trash in the secondary and stuff like that, which they always do. But to me, I mean, I don't know, maybe a B on defense, B minus, wasn't that bad. Some
Right.
guys would give it a C plus, whatever. But hey, listen, got to understand too. This ain't the real season yet. They're throwing guys out there to get them some reps and whatnot to see what they got. But yeah, dude, I think they tightened up a little bit of the run defense from week one, because week one it felt
Ugly.
like last year all over again.
Ugly, concerning. And that's the biggest thing. Last year, you mentioned it, that run defense was so bad, but it was so bad for reasons that people don't really like to consider.
Yeah,
A big one of it was all you really had was Cam. Tuitt was out, Alawalu was out.
yeah,
I mean, you had big Cam in the middle, and then some scrubs.
yeah,
So I think this year I'm not nearly concerned about the run defense as some people want to be. I think if there's anything that we're really going to worry about, it could be the cornerback play. But again,
yeah,
I don't have as many major reservations on the cornerback play as some other people do. I think Ahkello Witherspoon could be decent. I
hmm
think Levi Wallace is going to be decent. And what people fail to realize is that you don't always need elite shutdown cornerbacks if the pass rush is dominant. If the
yeah.
cornerback doesn't have 4 seconds to get the ball down the field, if he's looking at a second and a half, and TJ or Cam or Highsmith gets it going this year, I mean, he's going to have to get the ball out much sooner. Getting the ball out much sooner is a lot better for the secondary.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I would agree with you. The run defense, last year not great. This year, not as concerned. We're getting Alawalu back. Some other guys, DeMarvin Leal, he looked decent. I mean, he's
Yeah,
disruptive. There are some
yeah,
things I really enjoyed about him. But I'll be honest, my favorite player Saturday night would have been Mark Robinson. I think
yeah. You
Mark,
said that.
absolute monster, Jer. I mean,
Yeah,
he did things Saturday night that you would expect an inside linebacker to do, some of the things that I have been expecting Devin Bush to be doing.
yeah.
And he's just, what Mark Robinson did Saturday night was just read and react. No waiting, no stutter stepping, no
Just what Miles
hesitancy.
Jack does. Same thing Miles Jack
Exactly.
does.
Exactly. Find the hole, hit the hole. He had 5 tackles, three solo, two assist tackles, but that's not just that. Those are just what show up on the stat sheet. What you saw from him was he sees the hole, bang, he's exploding in that hole. No
Yeah,
matter no matter if it was a blocker coming through, the fullback, or if it was the running back. I mean, he was disruptive. And look at what Tomlin did this week. Devin Bush has a little bit of an ankle injury,
yep,
and who do you see in there at starting reps? You're seeing Mark Robinson get some looks, and that's
yeah,
huge from a 7th round draft pick. I mean, that's
100%.
huge.
Devin Bush, I'm telling you, man. You can just tell by the way he answered some of those questions. He doesn't seem as locked in as I would want him to be.
Agreed.
I feel like the way he answered that question was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is my last year with the Steelers. I'll be in the NFL still. Really doesn't matter. I'm going to get paid regardless.
Right.
Just not the best attitude. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Robinson takes his spot. I really wouldn't. From what he's shown in the preseason, man, he's hungry. He's eating, bro. He's eating. And hey, listen, Tomlin's mentality. Next man up.
Yep.
Next man up. Just what it
Yep.
is. So, my takeaways from the preseason game are pretty much this on offensive and defense. Um, Coach Tomlin has a decision to make. He
Oh yeah.
has a big decision to make, and also Devin Bush has a decision to make. Are you
Yep.
going to give it 100%? Like you're not the kid we drafted out of Michigan, man. And I don't know if that has to do with the injury or whatnot. But it's like I'm looking at two different people. You've seen the guy coming out of Michigan, just so fast, explosive, great tackler. You're not seeing any of those things. So Tomlin's got a decision to make as far as quarterback, and Devin Bush has a decision to make whether he wants to fucking play football for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And it's exactly it, Jerry. I mean, you can't. And we can say that, oh, maybe it's part of the injury, or we can also look at it from the other side. I mean, he could just be now leaning on the injury, saying that's why he hasn't been performing,
Yeah,
whatever, these types of things. The bottom line is he wasn't good last year. He was not
yeah,
good. He's coming off a major knee injury. So I'm going to give him last year as a, he has an excuse there. This year, there's no fucking excuse. It's time
no,
to nut up or shut up. There's no more of this lazy lollygagging in the hole, half-ass tackling, soft football. You can't play soft football and you can't be hesitant in the middle of the field for the run stop if you play linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has all the
100%.
speed in the world, and we're not fucking seeing it. And for as far as I'm concerned with Devin Bush, if Mark Robinson continues to come on the way we're seeing, and again, it's preseason, he's playing scrubs. I'd like to see him play some ones and see what he can produce. But if Mark Robinson can come on, Devin Bush has to be on a very short leash. We didn't pick up
Oh
the
yeah,
5th-year option. We're not tied to him.
oh yeah,
It's time to go. It's time to go on that.
yeah. I think I don't know what you were doing, but it wasn't this past game. It was our first game against Seattle.
Yeah.
You were I forget where the fuck you were. You were somewhere, and I was. Oh, you were at the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were at the game, so you weren't able to see the TV.
No.
I was watching the game, and you seen Devin Bush come off the field, and Flores was giving it to him. That's something like I don't really know too much. Listen, I know he's a great coach, and I know that he should be an NFL head coach. I don't know really the type of personality he has.
Yep.
Dude, he was chewing out Devin Bush, chewing him out, and that's when I messaged you like, dude, he's giving him a fucking earful right now, which
And
was
he
good to
should
see.
be. Right.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the shit that needs to happen. And that's something Mike Tomlin, you don't see it a ton. I mean, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does it behind closed doors, but you don't really see it a whole lot on the sideline. And
yeah,
that's why I love Brian Flores. We need that fucking fire.
yeah,
The Steelers defense has lacked just that last bit of bite. And if Brian Flores is what it takes to get it done, I'm all for it. And if it's
yeah,
not Devin Bush receiving the message, and it does happen to be a guy like Mark Robinson or Bob Spillane, I don't give a shit who it is, but we need better linebacker play this year. It is unacceptable. Pittsburgh Steelers football is linebacker-based football, and we can't seem to get it going there. So,
yeah.
yeah, we're on the same page with that for sure. I mean, what would you look at if we were grading these things? What would you have graded that performance Saturday night?
Saturday night would be the comeback win really steals the show a little bit, but honestly, I'd give it a C plus.
Yeah, I'm
C
B
plus.
minus, C
Yeah,
plus.
B minus, just because we won the game.
That's
You know what
exactly
I mean?
why. That is
But
exactly
yeah,
why.
listen, it wasn't the best, you know. And listen, I think Tomlin. Listen, Tomlin. One thing he is a real fucking dude. And one thing he said the other day is, I don't send messages. I just make moves, man.
Yep. Yep.
And you know what I mean. The players got to respect that, man. They got to respect it. Like I said, next man up mentality for him, man. But listen, all in all, 2-0 in the preseason. Which listen, I love winning. I love betting on the Steelers, and I like making money too. So I'm 2-0 in that category.
Did you put money on Saturday night's game too?
Yes, yeah, same thing I did week 1.
You are a fucking sick man. Tell the people what you did week 1, because I mean I'm at the stadium. I'm texting you. You're telling me your cable's out, or that they turned the game to a different channel, and I'm like, you want me to FaceTime you? Jerry has $600 and some on a fucking preseason week
Yeah,
1 football game.
and then this week I upped it up. I upped it to 1,000 because it was like 1,000 to win 970 or something like that. I just like, dude. I look at it as far as this. Listen, I almost got fucked
Oh
because
yeah.
I thought Kenny Pickett was gonna play the whole second and the whole third quarter,
Yeah,
and
agreed.
that
I
didn't
was
happen.
shocked. No, I was shocked. So your money's riding on Mason Rudolph to win the
Yeah,
game.
I mean, dude, like I just look at it like the matchups. Like, okay, Steelers have 2 starters that can probably carry them a little bit better than most NFL teams ones and two. You know what I mean? And you know, some of the superstars aren't even playing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're
Yep.
playing like one series. You know what I mean? So I look at it like that. You know, hey, Kenny's probably going to get second and third quarter. Mitch probably the whole first quarter, and Mason the fourth. If Mitch and Kenny, play the way they're supposed to, they're probably better than the other 1 and 2. So that's why I
Agreed.
just bet this. And I don't bet the Steelers every week. it was just from a matchup standpoint for me. And Kenny played fucking felt like 5 minutes.
Electric. He played electric in the 5 minutes we saw, and that's why I was pissed. I'm texting you. I'm like, he's already out. I'm like, he played like 10 snaps. I don't even know what we saw other than.
Well, you know what it was? I think this is what it is. I think Tomlin still needs to see a little bit more, but I think he's seen a lot already. And he just fucking pulled him because he said, "Listen, he's under pressure. He's making the passes. Drove us down the field. At the end of the half, scored a touchdown. Boom to Benny Snell." And I think you put out, or somebody put out a tweet that you loved a lot. And what was that?
So that'll bring us to the tweet of the week. My tweet of the week, honestly, was absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna read this to you because this is one of the funniest. I mean, it's an aggressive shot, but I thought it was absolutely hysterical. It was, I believe, Craig Riley. So Craig Riley tweets, "Kenny Pickett is so good that he can make Benny Snell look good. That's the sign of a great quarterback."
There you go.
I mean, Benny Snell doesn't deserve that. He didn't deserve to take that shot, but it's true though. It's true that the tweet is relevant simply because in the NFL, in any sport for the most part, any team sport that you watch, everybody agrees that the great ones, the truly great players, make those players around them better football players or better basketball players. It doesn't matter. They get the most out of their teammates.
Tom Brady did it his whole career pretty much.
Exactly. How often did Tom Brady have elite Hall of Fame wide receiver play? Randy Moss the one year, and they went fucking bananas. I mean, they lost the Super Bowl to the Giants that year, but insane. Aside from that, it's not like he had elite teams or elite receivers rather. And for Kenny Pickett to do that, or if he can get the most out of the guys around him, that's a leader. That's what you need in your quarterback. That is utmost what you need out of your quarterback to make sure the guys are given 100% and he's getting 100% out of them.
Yeah. So because we're doing the tweet of the week now, for me, it came from a guy who I usually disagree with. And in this case, I don't disagree with him. It's Colin Cowherd.
Yep.
He put out a tweet, and it's a video attached that's about 3 minutes long, but it's a very, very good video.
Yep.
It says there's too many good foundational pieces here for it to be a complete mess. Now, what he was talking about in the video, that's 3 minutes that everybody could watch, and I'm sure our guy Nick, our producer, will put the tweets out there and whatnot on the video you're watching. But he was saying this. It's time. We already know what Mitch Trubisky is, okay? We know, okay, yeah, Mitch can probably go out there, play the whole year, and win us 8-9 games, okay? But what's that? That's our excuse all the time as a Steelers fan. Oh, we haven't been below 500 since, 2003, I say?
Yep.
Something like that. That's our excuse as a Steelers fan. Now it's time. Listen, we know what Mitch is, what Colin was saying. We know who he is, okay? He ain't gonna bring you to a Super Bowl. It's time to rip the fucking Band-Aid off. Give Kenny the reps. Instead of playing $5 blackjack hands, now it's time to step it up to 50. And I think he's right. There's too many foundational pieces on this team for it to be a complete mess. Go give Kenny the fucking start, man. Give him the reps. You don't know what Kenny's going to be like, okay? We know what Mitch is like. We've seen it. And listen, regardless, I'll always back my guys. Whatever decision Tomlin and the organization makes, I'll always back my quarterback. If Mitch gets the nod, I'll always support him. But if it was me, fuck it. I'm throwing Kenny out there week 1. Let's see what the fuck you got.
See, I love that. I have no issues with it, and I tweeted yesterday that I at this point I am honestly shocked that Kenny came on as fast as he did, and that it's as close as it is. It's not that I had anything against Kenny. I genuinely would have said, if you put a gun to my head at the start of preseason or after the draft, who starts week 1, undoubtedly I would have said it's Mitch Trubisky. And it's not fucking close.
Kenny was going to come on probably week 8, week 7, something,
Agreed. And now the way that we've seen him play and knowing that you've put a first round pick into him and that he looks the part. The guy looks the fucking part. So it's not like you're just putting him in there out of, necessity or you have to.
Yeah.
Trubisky looks decent and it looks as though Kenny can take that job from him. And
Yeah.
the fact that he could take the job from him has got to have Tomlin sitting there saying, the leash is short, and honestly, I would like to see a lot of Kenny play with the ones. If I had
Yeah.
my way, Kenny would start Sunday night against the Lions. I want to see him fucking start.
100%.
I want to see what he can do with all the ones, with the starting line.
Yeah.
If Najee plays great, I want to see it because
Yeah.
it's going to tell us a lot. My only concern, and this is my only concern with starting Kenny Pickett week 1, would be if he does stumble out of the gates, which is possible. Let's
Yeah.
not. There's no fucking guarantee that he's going to come out and be Dan Marino. So if he does stumble at all and you have a defense that's playing good football and everyone else is playing good football around him, but it's just being held back by quarterback play, there's going to be chatter. And when there is chatter and you have a guy like Trubisky who also looked good and has experience, that it puts Kenny in an uncomfortable position where if he does stumble at all and the chatter happens and we
Yeah.
have to then put Trubisky in the game and we
Yeah.
have to play Trubisky moving forward from that point, you can break his confidence. And I don't want to see that happen.
And that's what realistically I think. Gun to my head right now, although I want it to be Kenny, Mitch will start week 1. I really feel that.
I agree.
And then I feel like it'll be a super short leash. If he's not performing in back-to-back weeks, week 1 and 2, you're getting pulled. Tomlin ain't playing around. You're getting pulled. Kenny, go out there, show him what you can do, win the fucking job. And hey, listen, I'm all for rookie quarterbacks getting that first year experience. I really am.
Yep.
I really am. I'm not the biggest believer in a rookie quarterback sitting for a whole entire year.
I don't love that.
Some people are, which is fine. I'd rather him get out there, get the reps. Listen, we win 9-10 games this year with Kenny. Great. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. You know what I mean?
Ecstatic.
That's what we want. We paid Deontay, we paid TJ, we paid Minka, Cam's paid. Like our pieces are there. You know what I mean?
Yep. And the
Pat's still on
windows,
a rookie deal. You know what I
right?
mean? We're
Right.
good to go, bro.
In the window, what people need to understand is 2 things. You said 2 things there that I want to address. The first being that I am not a big believer in making a first round quarterback sit an entire year, especially not whenever he was a 4-year starter at Pitt and he played in a pro style offense and he has all of these tools to immediately. What did we hear coming out of the draft? Kenny Pickett is the most NFL ready quarterback right now. He is the most ready to start day 1. And if that is the case, and we start Trubisky early, it has to be under a short leash. And when you put Kenny Pickett in the game, if Trubisky stumbles, you don't look back. You cannot quarterback carousel that thing. You have to ride him until the wheels fall off because that's who you invested in. That is your future. And you give him the keys to the car and you say, let's fucking go then.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I would really like to see a lot of Kenny this week. If he doesn't start week 1, I'm in agreement with you. I think most people that are Steelers fans are in agreement that he will start at some point this season if Mitch stumbles at all. And I hope he does. Like you said, I'm not looking to win the Super Bowl. Let's be realistic. We're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. Would it be fucking awesome? And our dreams made of that. And sometimes rookies come in and win. A rookie has never won a Super Bowl in NFL history. Not to say it can't happen. I just couldn't. I wouldn't bet on it. Let's just say that. I wouldn't bet on it.
I mean, especially not when, listen, our offensive line is young. We have, we spend the least money in the league on our offensive line, which is tough. Let's say the Steelers do make the playoffs, right? Let's say they do. Now you're going up against teams with fucking good defenses. Defensive lines that are great. You know what I mean? You look at teams like the Bengals, great D line, man. They know how to get to the quarterback.
Yep.
So yeah, dude. Do I think the Steelers can win the Super Bowl this year? Probably not. If they do, amazing, crazy, historic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as the only thing there's 2 things that can hold the Steelers back this year, and that is the offensive line and quarterback play.
100%, yeah. The
defense, because the receivers
are
there, the running back is there, the defense is there. Those 2 things are going to hold the Steelers back this year, and I hope they don't. I really do.
I would agree with you entirely. Let's head into this is probably going to be my favorite segment of this show that we do. It's the All Heart Player of the Week. And I'll explain to the viewers what we're going to be doing with the All Heart Player of the Week. So everyone knows Jerry is a big heart guy. Jerry, you love the players that give maximum heart, maximum
Yep.
effort, maybe an underdog, but they fucking heart their way into the winner's circle. And I think for me personally, my favorite player that it doesn't have this doesn't have to be the guy who had the best statistics or
Yeah.
he didn't fucking catch the game winning touchdown. None of that matters to this. It's someone who maybe did something that wouldn't have been expected or made a game changing play, something
Yeah.
like that. And for me this week, it would have been Mark Robinson. Again, it circles back to 7th-round draft pick. The guy played at three colleges. And I have him written down because one you're never even going to listen to. Presby College, Southeast Missouri, and then he played 1 year at Ole Miss. And the Steelers take him in the 7th round, and then we see a dog. Jerry, he was a fucking dog out there Saturday night, and I loved it. And for a guy that's a long shot to now be this week, like we said, getting reps with the one, that's my all heart player of the week all fucking week. And I love that guy, and I will support the shit out of that guy moving forward. What
For
do you got
sure.
on that end?
For me, I think in back-to-back weeks, just doing the little things for me, and it's standing out. I mean, you've seen it week one, um, with Gunner.
I
I
love the
mean,
shit.
dude, did you see that one play? He's blocking. He's throwing his body out there,
Mm-hmm.
trying to hit people. He's so short and so
Yeah,
small.
he's
He's just
literally
a
our
dog.
size.
Yeah, he's our size, bro. And he's
Right.
just throwing himself out there against linebackers, trying to make blocks. Hey, I think he's making a name for himself. And I think Kenny has spoken highly of him as well,
Yep.
and he's catching the ball. He's running good routes. He scored a couple weeks ago, week one. I mean, dude, he's doing the little things. I mean, I see him as our punt returner for sure.
Yep.
For
He's
sure.
shifty, and he's real shifty. And I think what people fail to realize about Gunner was he was all pro for New England. Now, he
Yes.
battled an injury in last season in New England, but the guy was all pro for special teams. So
Yeah.
he's a good fucking player. And I watched a documentary on him, and he's like a farm boy, little hardworking farm boy. And he
Yeah.
gives, like you said, maximum effort, all heart out of that guy. And
Oh, yeah.
there was a play where their number one pick this year, the Jaguars. It was a play where you saw terrible blocking effort from Chucks. It was a pitched out to the right side to Benny Snell, and Chucks
Mhm.
missed a block, which ultimately blew the play up. But you have Gunner out there blocking
Yeah.
his ass off against their number one draft pick linebacker. So
Yeah.
I mean, and he did it last week. Whenever he came into the inside and he banged the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes. That shit is contagious. That
Yeah,
shit
dude.
is contagious. If you get wide receivers that are willing to put their hat in the pile and bang and bang and bang, it breeds that in the locker room.
100%.
And that is what you need. That is what winning teams need. They need guys that are all heart players. And so what we're going to do with that segment each week, we're going to each pick our all heart player of the week, and whoever has the most hearts on their helmet at the end of the season, we're going to send them the Hart Trophy.
That's
And
it. I like
and
it.
I'm
I love it.
excited about that.
I love
So
it.
yeah, let's the one final thing we'll look at. Let's look ahead to the betting segment.
Yeah.
One thing Jerry and I very much enjoy is the gambling. So what you're betting this week? Are you taking money line? You taking the points? It's 4.5 the way I have it today, and the over under is 38.5. Steelers money line minus 210.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm probably gonna put something small, be responsible, because honestly, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yep.
Last week, I thought for sure Kenny was gonna get second and third quarter, no doubt. Mason all the fourth quarter, but he
Right.
didn't. So I don't know. I don't know really what to think this week. I'm going into it thinking Kenny's gonna start the game. Maybe Tomlin really wants to see him for a whole quarter with the ones, and
Yep.
then Mitch will kind of take it over
Yep.
on the second and third quarter, and then Mason will get his fourth quarter reps like he got last week.
Yep.
I would just play it safe this week. I'll just go Steelers money line. I'm not going to
Yeah.
mess around with the points. So fuck it. I'll just go money line.
Yeah, if you're betting on this, I would just stick to the money line. I mean, it is a very wild ride to bet on preseason football because at the end of the game, really, you're betting on guys that have very small chance. Maybe a couple practice squad guys get out there, but other than
Yeah.
that, you're betting on a lot of guys who might.
And I think we should do also this. Me and you talked about it, Kev. I think we'll do like something when the regular season starts. Me
Yep.
and you will have a better week, and by
Yep.
the end of the year, we'll see who did better. You know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we'll figure out what we want to put on that as a head-to-head bet.
Yeah.
Who got more bets right for the entire year? Maybe we throw 500, the other person takes 500 at the end of the year. Whoever ends up winning more bets, and we'll do a player prop bet of the week. We'll do some fun shit as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, hell yeah. And
Um,
by the way, Barstool Sportsbook, our podcast, we're on Barstool. So Kevin, welcome. This is great, bro. I'm excited. Go download the Barstool Sportsbook. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the betting segment for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make sure we encourage all you guys. Jerry and I are going to try and record these episodes on Tuesdays. We're gonna listen to Tomlin's comments. We're gonna get these recorded for you. We're gonna try and get them dropped on Wednesday or Tuesday evening. However quick we can get our producer Nick to do some editing and things of that nature. But give us a help. Retweet it. Like, comment, subscribe. You'll find the videos on Jerry's Jersey Jerry YouTube page. We're going to get them uploaded to Spotify and Apple. So wherever you're finding us, spread the word. If you love Steelers football and you like listening to us talk and shoot the shit, we're gonna do a lot of fun things for you guys this year. I'm gonna be giving away tickets every week on the show, so you'll want to tune in and see who wins the tickets. Give us a like, follow, comment, subscribe, and we'll be sure to spread the love back to you from there.
Yeah, for sure. So with the terrible tailgate now, you used to do it on Twitter. Now
Yep.
you're going to do it on the show.
Yeah, correct. And normally I like to give away 2 tickets to the tailgate and then 2 tickets to the game. Some weeks I'm feeling more generous. If the stock market crushes for me, then I'll always, buy a couple extra people some tickets and some things like that. To me, it's big to get Steelers fans there that have never been there or maybe haven't been there with a dad or a mom or they're going through some shit. Some people genuinely need it. They need to be able to go to the stadium. It's a huge release. And it's important for me to be able to get people there. I love doing it. I've met a lot of very good people that were incredibly gracious and thankful for me to get them tickets. And it's going to be a big thing for me to do that again this year. So I'll tweet them out after the fact, but you won't hear about it until you listen to the podcast initially, who the winners are. And we're going to go from there. We're going to get a lot of people to the stadium this year. Jerry, I know you're coming out to a couple games, so you'll be at a couple
I'll be at a couple games as well. I know I'm making my way to Miami, but as far as Pittsburgh goes, I'll probably get out there probably somewhere between 3 and 4 times this year. I've been out there recently. The past 2 months, I've been out there like 3 times, which has been pretty fun. I've been loving that, and also, every week won't be just me and you for the most part. Yes, but I mean, I'm sure, like without a doubt, I've talked to players on the Steelers. They're down to come on as well. Past players and current players as well. We do. Me and you will be careful what we ask them, but we'll be careful. But dude, yeah, it's gonna be exciting, man. I'm super excited for this. We talked about it, and it's really nice to just see it actually happening. And
Right.
I think me and you work well together. And listen, this thing's gonna go to the moon, man.
Absolutely, and I appreciate the time. And anyone who wants to look into the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure you download that. Jerry, I know you're going to have some bets on there it'll be a little bit better juice in a lot of instances. So we're going to look into some of that stuff, some of Jerry's bets, and then we'll keep you guys posted on that end. But tune in every week. We're gonna bring you guys the best we can, interviews like Jerry said with some of the players on the team. So we're gonna bring you guys some stuff you might not hear anywhere else. So we're excited to do it for you, and we hope you guys enjoy it.
They run with their legs!
Don't ask me to do nothing! This is